ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्ति रामकृष्णे स्थिता हि या सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। Offering my salutations at the lotus feet of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharada Devi and Swami Vivekananda, and all great teachers, all great saints of our country, and our own gurus, our own spiritual teachers in the Ramakrishna Math and Mission. I offer my pranams to respected Secretary Maharaj, Swami Sarvalokananda Ji, and also other senior monks at Narendrapur Ramakrishna Mission, and my junior brother monks and brahmacharis. And my greetings on the National Youth Day, being the birthday of Swami Vivekananda. This year, as you are aware, we are celebrating the 158th birthday of Swamiji. All over the country, several programs, several webinars are being organized by various sections of the society, NGOs and Ramakrishna Math centers and education institutions, etc., etc. It's a big occasion, the time when we are just trying to get out of the pandemic, the Corona Mahamari, as they say. Nearly 9 months we stayed indoors, closing our mouth and shutting all the activities, and slowly, thanks to the vaccines and other safety measures taken, we are on the threshold of something nice to come in 2021. So on the invitation and the blessings of revered Secretary Maharaj, Swami Sarvalokananda Ji, I am just talking to all of you, my dear young friends and faculty members of the Ramakrishna Mission, Narendrapur, the esteemed institution, one of the prestigious and dynamic institutions of our Ramakrishna order, on the message of Swami Vivekananda. For a few minutes, thanks to technology, thanks to the facilities of Zoom and other YouTube and StreamYard or WebEx, we are able to connect far and wide. In Hyderabad also, in the Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence, which is one of the units, a dynamic unit of the Ramakrishna Math, we are organizing several webinars connecting various schools. And today evening, we are having a webinar with the scientists of Indian Institute of Science in Bengaluru on how science and nation building with Swami Vivekananda's message can become a big, colossal, big, powerful tsunami-like thing for arousing the scientific mind of the youth. So these are all several programs going on. You might be aware of it. But in the short time, I am just sharing the fundamental message of Swami Vivekananda for all of us, for all of you, for all the youth of this country. My dear young friends, it is not just the Chicago Parliament speech that Vivekananda should be known for. There are many important things. The formation of Swami Vivekananda as Narendra at the feet of Sri Ramakrishna at Dakshineshwara temple. The second is the renunciation and the deep meditation of Swami Vivekananda. The third is the wanderings of Swami Vivekananda, the Parivrajaka, from Himalayas to Cape Comorin till 1892 December. Then his decision for going to the Parliament of Religions in the United States. Then 4 years of his spreading the message of Vedanta in the whole Europe. In spite of obstructions, in spite of obstacles, the spirit that he had, the faith that he had in his Guru, in the scriptures, and in our motherland. Then coming back, 1897, a heroic return of Swami Vivekananda. What a glorious return it was. What a glorious awakening of Mother India it was. My dear friends, and establishing the Ramakrishna Math and Mission, May 1st, 1897 at Balram Mandir. Then again the second visit. And then his departure from this world, physically, of course. As he said, I'm a voice without a form. Can you imagine, from the human point of view, that a man just living for 39 years, 5 months, and 25 days could do so much for this country? Is it humanly possible? Even if we take it as the human aspect, at the time when there was no traveling facilities properly, there's no other medical facilities properly, Swamiji wrote hundreds of letters, nearly 400 letters, official and unofficial, and his traveling and his lectures. All this become a big, colossal Himalayas, which can reverberate through the length and breadth of this planet. It is up to us to take Swamiji seriously, sincerely, wholeheartedly, and become better citizens of Mother India, better human beings of Mother India. And that is how we offer our tribute, offer our gratitude to Swami Vivekananda on his birthday today, which is the National Youth Day. The first important thing that I would like to share with all of you is this: the potential of the average person. This is a summary of Swamiji's teachings. Potential, 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 he had used several times. So the potential of the average person is like a huge ocean unsailed. Keep this in mind, first point. The potential of the average person is like a huge ocean unsailed, a new continent unexplored, a new continent unexplored, a world of possibilities waiting to be released and channeled toward some great good. I'm going to repeat again for you to concentrate and absorb this very important idea. The potential of the average person is like a huge ocean unsailed, is like a new continent which is unexplored, a world of possibilities waiting to be channeled towards some great good. There are three important points here. The potential, what is that potential? When Swamiji said, each soul is potentially divine. It is like having a big car. You purchase the most modern car and then you go to the petrol bunk. You can't just put water. You need gasoline, you need diesel, you need petrol, whatever the make of the car is, right? That is the potential energy, fuel. That potential energy is very important. Potential energy is already there. The seed in your hand, that is the potential energy. But just keeping the seed in your hand, you cannot grow a mango tree. You cannot grow a rose. You cannot grow a dahlia. You need to plant that seed. This is what Swamiji expected from all of us. This is real education. What is the education that you are getting in school, college? It is the roti kapada makan education. It is the education for giving you good food, giving you good house, shelter, comfort, name, fame, and that's it. Some social recognition, some social gatherings. You become a president of a club and things like that. What else? But there is what Swamiji said, the potential energy to conquer the whole world. Not just a job, not just a seat in a big company or a job in a big company. So the potential of the average person is like a huge ocean unsailed. That means we are not utilizing that potential energy. Somebody is, as I said, we buy a car and somebody is pushing the car. We have not even ignited the engine. We have not even ignited the engine. We have not started the engine of the car. Somebody is pushing slowly. We have put in neutral gear and we are going on. Why somebody should do that for me? This is what Swamiji's idea of a young man, a young woman, a real personality is. Then a new continent unexplored. Huge ocean is lying before me. I have not ventured into it. I have not dived deep into it to understand the beauty of the ocean. I am busy only on the peripheries. I am busy only on the beach, enjoying little snacks, a little panipuri or a little belpuri, and I am happy. But the scientist, but the great research scholars of India dive deep and find out the truth for themselves. So a world of possibilities is waiting. See the two words there, potential and possibilities. These are the two very important core of Swami Vivekananda's teachings. Released, if they are released, what a wonder. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. In this context, I would like to share with you a very interesting, very nice quotation from Barack Obama, who was the former president of the United States, the youngest president, in fact, of the United States. Twice he became the president. So in one of his lectures, he uses this very interesting idea. Focusing your life solely on making a buck. Focusing your life solely on making a buck shows a certain poverty of ambition. It asks too little of yourself. It asks too little of yourself. Because it is only when you hitch your wagon, to something larger than yourself, that you realize, then you realize your true potential. What does he say? If your goal, if your minimum ambition is a job to earn a buck. A buck is an American slang for 1 rupee. Give me a buck, they say. So if that alone is your purpose of life, then it's a poverty. It's a kind of garibness. Poverty, poor person. It is only when you hitch your wagon to something larger than yourself that you realize your true potential. Then alone, that real Atma Jyoti, Atma Shakti, Atma Nirbhar, Atma Vishwas, that will be highlighted, that will be manifested. So I request all of you, the students of our prestigious Narendrapur School and Narendrapur colleges, in a group of institutions, hitch your wagon to something larger than yourself. There is this Babar Ali in Murshidabad, the world's youngest headmaster. He hitched his wagon, his life to something larger, education for all. Ananda Shiksha Niketan, the world's youngest headmaster, Babar Ali. And there are wonderful people around you who are doing marvelous work, who have taken up the spirit of Swamiji and have gone high in life, never to look back. There is Vinayak Lohani in Kolkata, who is doing enormous work, not only in Kolkata, but Devas district of Madhya Pradesh. He hitched his wagon to something larger than himself. Hundreds and hundreds of Seva Kutirs, thousands and thousands of the most backward areas of Madhya Pradesh are helped, are given food, are given education, are given the humanness by Vinayak Lohani in Parivar. Now, having said this, there are three important factors which are my favorite, and I would like to share with them. It is available in the book called Personality Development. In page number 22 of that book, Swamiji says, what we want is to see the man who is harmoniously developed, great in heart, great in mind, great in deed. Great in heart, great in mind, great in deed. We want the man whose heart feels intensely the miseries and sorrows of the world. The man who not only can feel, and we want the man who not only can feel but can find the meaning of things, who delves deeply into the heart of nature and understanding. We want the man who will not even stop there. We want the man who will not even stop there, but who wants to work out the feeling and thinking by actual deeds. Such a combination of head, heart, and hand is what we want, Swami Vivekananda. Such a combination of head, heart, and hand is what we want. This is the 3H formula: head to think, heart to feel, and hands to work. Isn't it easy for us to remember the holistic message of Swami Vivekananda? Think about it. Recite it every day. Head to think, heart to feel, hands to work. This real, literal music of Swamiji's teachings. Amongst these three, Swamiji gave priority to the heart. Several times he had mentioned, if there is a conflict between the head and heart, please follow the heart. That is the real conscience. That is the real truth. Do you feel? Do you feel? Do you feel? He used to awaken the youth of India, the citizens of India, and that call is still relevant today. Sri Ramakrishna beautifully says, a child is sleeping and it suddenly woke up about 11 o'clock in the night. Mother was by the side of the child and the boy told the mother, "Oh mother, please wake me up when I am hungry." The mother laughed and said, "I can't wake you up when you are hungry. The hunger will wake you up. And then you ask me, give me something to eat." Then it is relevant. The mother goes and prepares something or gives a glass of milk at least for the child to sleep peacefully. So the feeling is very important. Young people of India, whether you are in Delhi, whether in Kolkata, whether in Bangalore, whether Hyderabad, whether you are in a village, feel, feel, feel. That requires a little bit of sensitivity. Now I shift my 3H formula into practicals. The first thing is develop authenticity, my dear young friends. Authenticity, authenticity, authenticity. Be like a lion, Swami Vivekananda's exhortation was. Nirgachanti jagadjala pinjaradiva kesari. Like a lion which breaks open that pinjara, the cage, the man should break open his net of this world and walk freely. This is authenticity, hallmark of any great man. The second is inner grit. Inner grit is very, very important. It's not namby-pambiness. It is not just goody-goodiness. The toughness, but with humbleness, with devotion. I become very tough. I hit somebody. I break somebody's houses. I do some violence in the streets. That is not grit. It is arrogance. It is rajogunam, as they say. Swami Vivekananda was against that. He wanted evolution, not revolution. Evolve, grow inside out. Manifest that potentiality. Manifest that divinity. Then the third is sensitivity. This is where feeling matters a little. Sensitivity. So be a little more sharper in your mind, not emotional, not crying, not complaining, not quarreling, but fineness, the sharpness of the mind. That comes through yogasanas, that comes through meditation, that comes through studying of Swamiji's literature. Study Swamiji's literature every day. Not just you are a student of Narendrapur School or a Rahara School or the Vivekananda University or you are a student in Gold Park. No, you are Swamiji's child. You are getting his blessings. So study Swamiji. Sri Ramakrishna, how he gave Swamiji that blessings and said, Naren Shikha Devi. Naren will teach the world. And Naren is teaching the world even now. So have that healthy, pure self-image of yourself. This is very important, my dear friends. Have a healthy, pure self-image of yourself. And to understand that, let me just quote another great writer who was influenced by the Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita, R.W. Emerson of America. He said, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. And you are the only one who can use your ability, it's an awesome responsibility. R.W. Emerson, Ralph Waldo Emerson. See the beauty there. See how closely they were related with Swamiji's ideas. They were contemporaries and said, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny. What lies within me, the Atma Bhav, the Shakti inside me, is much more than anything else in life. So let me take up that responsibility. Let me study Swamiji's teachings every day and fulfill the mission and vision which he gave to us through his letters, through his lectures in India, outside India, and let us reach the divine, manifest the divine nature. And Swamiji's blessings will be on each one of us. So on this auspicious day, Swamiji's birthday, according to the English calendar, and Sankranti coming from tomorrow, we shall all pray to Swamiji to bless us, to strengthen our willpower, to guide us in our resolve in the remaining part of 2021. My pranams to Secretary Maharaj and other senior monks at Narendrapur Center. Namaste, Jai Ramakrishna.